Elsie, I'm glad you're only seeing this shelf behind me because my office is an absolute mess right now. I've got Bibles that we were going to hand out at Easter time. I've got pieces of my robes. I have a pile of papers that I spilled coffee on. And we suspended our janitorial service, so I probably need to take out the trash. It's just part of the new adjustments that I think we're each feeling at this time. So I wanted to talk a little bit about what's happening worship-wise. So we did our first where two or three are gathered, which meant we had one person come at a time to one of two stations that we prepared to receive communion. We prepare all the communion for the morning or the evening with mask and glove after washed hands so that it's all prepared at the same time. After a person comes into the church, we sanitize the spot where they received their communion, and then we go and wash hands again, and then bring out the next set of items, and one by one, we have this time of connecting. And I can tell you from the first round that it was very meaningful to be in the church to do holy things. So if that's something you want to participate in, we'll have more spots next week. And if we run out of spots, we'll add more time. The other thing we're going to do is something I'm calling My House is a House of Prayer. That is, we're going to have the church open for 1 hour where a number of people can come to pre-prepared places to pray in the church. And then after you've prayed, you'll be able to leave and we'll have time to clean before it's offered again. And that's something that we'll do with masks. We also have one of our members who's a volunteer hospital chaplain at Hoag who will be willing to meet with folks in the courtyard one by one with socially distanced seating to be able to pray for you if you'd like that. So watch Susan's announcements if you want to schedule either coming one by one or coming to pray in the church and just allowing God's house to be a house of prayer. And if we see that the demand is something great, then we'll extend the hours. But right now we're just doing these 1 hour at a time. Now, for our Sunday worship, the Church Council met on Monday night to discuss the life of our church and the worship we're doing on Zoom. And something that will be offered this Sunday is a kind of virtual communion. So if you want to participate in that from home, have some bread ready. It doesn't matter what kind of bread, but simpler is better in my mind. Also have a little bit of wine that can be shared with the people who are in your household. So if it's just you, a very small amount. If it's more than you, prepare individual glasses for those people. Obviously, you can prepare grape juice too. So if you have some bread, if you have some wine or juice, then we will have a time at the end of our online service where we can share a kind of communion. And this is something that reminds us that we are the church, even though we're separated from one another. It reminds us that this is something we can do all at the same time. And it's also a prayer of longing for return when we can gather and share this all in person. So there's a lot that's been happening, some of it very slowly, very intentionally, because we want to be safe and we want to be able to connect in person. We want this to continue being a place that's holy, where holy things happen, including just offering the voice of prayer. As someone said who came earlier this morning, could we do all of this without the church? Of course we can. We're Christians. We can do it anywhere. Does it matter that we come to this place? Yes, it matters. And I think we feel that anytime that we visit the church. Also, if you aren't able to come or you're wanting to just do this at home, prepare yourself for this Sunday where we'll have a moment of a kind of communion where we virtually share together the gifts of God for the people of God.